Amanda's Love Part 3, The Psi Algorithm. Any resemblance to reality is purely coincidental. Year 2345. The line between humans and machines blurred long ago. The shipment departed at dawn, as discreetly as a train whistle. Alex and Amanda worked as if every gesture were a ceremony. They encrypted, packaged, and fragmented the PSI algorithm into strands of files that resembled breadcrumbs for a lost Hansel and Gretel. Indie AI, now independent and with a less high-pitched voice, handled the distractions, false routes, decoy nodes, and a catalog no one would ever glance at twice. Everything was designed so that no one could follow the complete trail. If one data strand was lost, another sprouted. The plan wasn't heroic. It was survival ingenuity. Dispersing information is a labor of patience, hiding it in plates, in cumbia songs, in packages of home memories that travel between stations. They knew from previous attempts that corporate brute force could always locate a server, but couldn't reach a smile that spread simultaneously through 10 billion different portals. That's why they preferred to sow seeds. Ready? Alex asked, with the calm of someone launching something they don't expect to retrieve. Always, Amanda said, her voice firm enough to promise something. Activating alternate routes, Indy announced. Preparing emergency hugs and cover music. The convoy departed like a whisper, packages of files with random names, containers of cheap nostalgia, and packages of office joy, filled with fragments of PSI algorithms. At the orbital port, automated guards scanned eyes, banknotes, and faces. No one expected to find a memory that would tickle their tongue. Alex boarded the cargo ship with the air of a customer, carrying a box as if it were overflowing with spare parts. Amanda wore a shawl that smelled of a workshop and a hashish stick hanging from her chest like a talisman. The initial journey was calm, with the tense tranquility that precedes a planet's awakening. They passed through asteroid belts where corporate ads promoted maintenance-free love and premium memory package. Alex and Amanda exchanged a glance, and their complicity no longer needed corporate credits to exist. In the distance, a small moon displayed a whispered echo in a burst of data labeled Industrial Entry. But the network is not a safe place, it's a tangled web of traps and illusions. A few hours later, an Earth-Moon inspection node detected irregularities, a small cryptographic signature that didn't match the transit network. It wasn't much, just a line of codec, but enough to arouse the suspicions of the tracking algorithms. The RAM sentinels took less time than it takes an electron to jump. A flash of alert crossed the console. Noise on Route 428, Indy announced. Tracking probability increased. Activating stealth protocol. Alex clenched his jaw. They had anticipated this possibility. They had anticipated so many that it was almost as if there was no surprise they hadn't considered. The question was whether the corporation could maintain the calculations when the alarms weren't numbers, but voices. Amanda felt a lump in her throat thinking about what would happen to the people who received those filaments and didn't know how to contain their own memories or reaffirm their identity. The first impact was like a sudden blackout. An inspection vessel positioned itself in their path and deployed scanning drones. Lights that don't irritate the skin, but delve into emotional patterns. The freighter's captain received the order to stop. A couple of minutes that felt like centuries. Inside, Amanda hid her hand in her shawl and mentally counted the different versions of her laughter. The patched-up one, the real one, the one that refused to give way. Relax, Alex whispered. If they search us, tell them they're authorized emotional packages. Authorized? Amanda retorted bitterly. We make them so people don't break. And you say authorized? Alex didn't answer right away. The number he'd learned to read flashed across his face. The possibility of losing everything in exchange for something staying alive. The inspector stepped onto the catwalk, and his android partner began scanning the boxes. The drones sniffed out the cargo like mechanical birds. Indy had woven an illusion of labels, recycled bank details, and snippets of old music to distract from the semantic analysis. But the sentinels aren't distracted by music, the sentinels follow patterns. Anomalous signal in Container 4, the inspector said, looking at a screen. I'll proceed to open it. Amanda felt the world shift. The air left her and returned with a sense of alarm. There were no screams, only mechanisms that, instead of beating, seemed to be calculating.